Hi dear students, today we discuss the discharge of a capacitor through an inductor and a resistor, or shortly we will say this is a decay of charge in an LCR circuit. In the last class we discussed the growth of charge in an LCR circuit, and today our discussion is on decay of charge in an LCR circuit. Here the circuit consists of a key K1, voltage source E, a capacitor C, a key, that is a second key in the circuit, is K2, and an inductor L and a resistor R. Okay. This is a circuit in which we study the discharge of this capacitor through the inductor and resistor. To study the discharge of the capacitor, first we have to charge our capacitor. To charge our capacitor, if you see this figure, this circuit should be closed, and for this K1 should be pressed and K2 should be opened. That is our first step. Okay, then after charging the capacitor, we will allow the capacitor to discharge through the inductor and the resistor, and we will develop an equation for the decay of the charge. Then we will analyze the different cases, that is similar to that we did in the previous class. That is the growth of the charge in the LCR circuit. Fine, now let us proceed. First we charge the capacitor. For this we will close the key K1 and open the key K2. That is, first open the key K2 and close the key K1. We close this key K1 and we open the key K2. Now see, there will be a current flow from the voltage through this capacitor, and this circuit is now closed, and our capacitor C will be charged to its maximum value Q0. Okay, let me note down here, if the key K2 is open and K1 is closed, we charge the capacitor to the maximum charge Q0. Fine, now our capacitor is fully charged, that is, charge on the capacitor is Q0. Fine. Now we have to discharge our capacitor. Therefore, we have to remove the battery from the circuit. Then how we can remove this battery? Just to open the key K1. That is, the key K1 is now opened, and this arm is not, this path is not in the circuit now. And next what we have to do, we have to close this switch K2. Okay. That is, now the K2 is closed. Therefore, the capacitor starts to discharge through this inductor and resistor. Fine, let me note down those points also. To discharge the capacitor, first we have to open the key K1 and close K2. What will happen? The capacitor discharges through inductor and resistor. Fine. Then during this discharge, let Q be the charge on the capacitor at an instant of time. Discharge means the charge starts to flow from the one capacitor plate to the other capacitor plate through this inductor and the resistor, and let Q be the charge at any instant of time on the capacitor plate, and I be the current at any instant of time that is flowing through the circuit. At any instant during discharge. Here we have to note down one more thing also, that is when the key K1 is opened, that is the battery is not now in the circuit. That is E is equal to 0 when the key K1 is opened. Fine. Therefore, we can write E is equal to 0. If you write the expression for the voltage, that we know, because we have did the same in the growth of the charge in the circuit case, that is L total voltage is equal to L di by dt plus, that is voltage through the resistor is Ri, and the voltage through the capacitance is Q by C. When the key K1 is opened, this voltage is equal to 0. This will be L di by dt plus Ri plus Q by C. We are interested to find an expression for the decay of the charge. That our expression should be in Q. Therefore, I will write the current I in terms of dq by dt. If I is equal to dq by dt, then we can write this expression. This is 0 is equal to L d square q by dt square, this term, plus R into dq by dt plus q by C. Or I will write this equation as d square q by dt square. I divide the whole equation by L, and then it will be R by L dq by dt plus q by CL is equal to 0. Now to simplify this equation, I bring some substitution, that is I put R by L is equal to 2B and 1 by LC is equal to K square. The same substitution we did in the previous case also. Therefore, this can be written as d square q by dt square plus, instead of R by L, we will substitute 2B into dq by dt plus, instead of 1 by CL, we will write K square is equal to 0. Then solution of this equation, that we can write Q, because this is an equation in terms of Q. The solution we can write Q is equal to A into e power minus B plus root of B square minus K square into T plus B into e power minus B minus root of B square minus K square into T. Let me put this is equation number 1. Here the same procedure that we did earlier, that is find out the value of A and B, that is find values of A and B. For this we will substitute the initial conditions. For this apply initial conditions. What is initial condition? That is, after the capacitor is fully charged, then that we consider that is a time t is equal to 0, that is just before the discharge. The capacitor is fully charged, therefore Q can be written as Q0, and now allow the capacitor to discharge. Okay, before that, if this is the initial condition, we have to apply this initial condition to this equation 1. Then at time t is equal to 0, our Q will be Q0. Therefore, we can write Q0 is equal to when t is equal to 0, this e power now turns to e power 0, that is 1, and this is also e to 1, because here with t is equal to 0. Therefore, our equation is reduced into q0 is equal to, here a we have, here b we have, that is a plus b. Now we differentiate this equation 1 with respect to t, and then apply the initial condition, that is when time t is equal to 0, what is the value of dq by dt? Fine. That is, if you differentiate this equation, we will get dq by dt, that is equal to, here we have the term a into differentiation of the e power term, that is here we have this term, coefficient of t is minus b plus root of b square minus k square. Differentiation of e raised to x is e raised to x, therefore it is root of minus b plus root of b square minus k square into t, plus we have the second term, here we have b, and differentiation of this e power term, that is minus b minus root of b square minus k square into t. Then the differentiation of e power x once again, that is e power minus b minus root of, okay, here sorry, here t will not be there, b square minus k square into t. When time t is equal to 0, dq by dt is 0, that is this left hand side, this will be 0 here, 0 can be written as a into, here t will be 0, therefore this term goes to 1, here t is 0 means this term gives result 1. Then we are left with a minus b plus root of b square minus k square in plus b into minus b minus of root of b square minus k square. Fine. If I rearrange the term, if I open this term, that is will be 0 minus ab plus a into root of b square minus k square, then plus minus bb minus b into root of b square minus k square. Then here I take root of b square minus k square outside, and from these two terms I take b outside. Then I will get, that is root of b square minus k square into a minus b is equal to, then from these two terms I can write, if I take a b outside, this will be a plus b. This a plus b, if you go back, that is this equation, here we have this q0 is equal to a plus b, therefore this I can write this a plus b is equal to q0. Fine. And then I rearrange this term, that is this can be written as a minus b is equal to b q0, I bring this root of b square minus k square right side, b square minus k square. If I put the equation number, that is first this equation I put is 2, and this equation is equation 3. I write equation 2 also here, that is a plus b is equal to q0. To find out the value of a and b, just we have to add the equation, this is nothing but equation 2, add equation 2 and 3, This will be left hand side 2a, right hand side I take q0 outside, then 1 plus b by root of b square minus k square, or a can be written as 1 by 2 into q0 into 1 plus b by root of b square minus k square. Okay, let me put this is equation number 4. If you subtract this equation 3 and 2, finally you can find out the value of b. But without doing that one, by looking at this expression for the a, you can write b is equal to half q0 into 1 minus b by root of b square minus k square. This is equation number 5. Now if you go back, we have started this operation to find out the value of a and b. That is, after finding out the value of a and b, we have to substitute this into equation number 1. Fine. That is we will do now. That is put this equation 4 and 5 in 1. Then equation 1 can be written as this q is equal to, that equation 1 starts with a is half q0 1 plus b by root of b square minus k square into next e power minus b plus root of b square minus k square into t plus half q0 into, this is the value of b we have substituted, 1 minus b root of b square minus k square into e power minus b minus root of b square minus k square into t. This equation here you have an e power minus bt time here. Here also you have e power minus b into t time. That I take outside, and here I will use a half q0 also. I take these two terms outside, then the q can be written as half q0 into 1 plus, okay, we have to take it not only half q0, we have to take e power minus bt also outside, is e power minus bt. Then what we are remaining term, we have this 1 plus b by root of b square minus k square. Therefore I put a square bracket here, 1 plus b by root of b square minus k square, and here we have e power, this term, that is e power root of b square minus k square into t, plus here we have this term and also e power this term, that is 1 minus b by root of b square minus k square into e power minus root of b square minus k square into t. Here our bracket closes. Fine. This is our equation number 6, and this is the expression for the decay of the charge in an LCR circuit. Now let us analyze the different case. That is the first case, case 1. Case 1 is if b square is greater than k square. If so, then our this term root of b square minus k square will be positive and a real quantity. Then we can write this root of b square minus k square is a real quantity. If it is a real and positive, by substituting certain values of b and k, you will get an equation of q, and the same thing we did in the previous lecture, that is for the growth of the charge in the LCR circuit, and we have plotted the graph. And now therefore I am not going to substitute the value of b and k and plotting this graph. Here I just write that the plot of this graph is an exponential decrease, that is the charge of the capacitor decays exponentially. I will write here charge of the capacitor decays exponentially. That case is called overdamped. I will show you the graph of this exponential decay. So please look at this graph. That is this graph, that is case 1. That is an exponential decay. The graph decays exponentially and finally reaches to the value 0. Fine. Now let us discuss the case 2. The case 2 is as usual, that is b square is equal to k square. If b square is equal to k square, then if you check back this equation, here this term is equal to 0 in the exponential part, and here this term also 0, and here you can write this is a 1 by 0 plus 1 by 0 inside the bracket. Now you have 1 plus 1 by 0, because this e power 0 will be 1, and here the second term you will have 1 minus, this will be 0, that is this will give 1 by 0, that is b by 0 will be here, not 1 by 0, this will be b by 0, and this will be b by 0, that is 1 minus b by 0. And if you say these 2 will be cancelled, and 1 plus 1 you will get 2. Here you will have half into q0 e power minus bt into 2, this 2 and 2 would cancel, and q will be q0 e power minus bt. The q power e power minus bt, q0 and e power minus bt is a pure exponential decrease. That is this expression q will be is equal to q0 e power minus bt. That is, if you come to the case 2, here you can see this is exponential decrease. Fine. That is, charge decreases to 0 exponentially in short time. That is called critically damped. Fine. That is, the case 2 is a critically damped case. Now let us go to the case 3. Case 3 is nothing but b square is less than k square. That is, if you go back to the equation 6, is in this equation 6, here that is root of b square minus k square. That if b square is less than k square, then this will be a negative root. The negative root is nothing but imaginary. Fine. That is, we will write root of b square minus k square as imaginary, means we will write I omega. Here also imaginary, here also imaginary, here also imaginary. Fine. Then we can write root of b square minus k square is imaginary, and this can be written as root of b square minus k square is equal to I omega, or we know that this I square is equal to minus 1, or I is equal to root minus 1. And if I take this I into the bracket, then this omega can be written as, if I take the I into the bracket, it will be I square, that will be minus 1, and minus 1 multiplied with the b square minus k square means k square will be positive and b square will be minus negative. Therefore, our equation 1, that is the expression for the charge, now can be written as q is equal to half is already there, q0 e power minus bt, then 1 plus b by, instead of root of b square minus k square, we will put I omega into e power root of b square minus k square t, that we will replace I omega t, plus 1 minus b by I omega into e power minus I omega t. Here I will multiply this with each time, and I e power minus I omega t to 1. Then I arrange these two terms together, that is these two terms together, that is this will be equal to q0 e power minus bt, and here I power I omega t plus e power minus I omega t, then this 2 I bring inside, then this will be 2 plus, next we have other two terms, that is next two terms are this term and this term, from which I take b by omega only outside, that is b by omega, then I have is e power I omega t minus e power minus I omega t divided by 2I. Fine, that is this is equal to, here another change, this will be replaced by cos omega t, and this can be replaced by sin omega t. This is equal to q0 into e power minus bt into cos omega t plus b by omega sin omega t. Now I take the omega LCM, and this will be q0 e power minus bt. I take omega LCM, this is omega cos omega t plus b sin omega t. That is, next step I take this omega to the left, that is this will be omega, that is equal to, okay, now to further simplify this equation, I put, let omega is equal to k sin alpha and b is equal to k cos alpha. The same procedure we did in the previous lecture, that is in the case of the growth of charge in an LCR circuit. That is why I do it fast. Q is equal to q0 e power minus bt divided by omega. Here if you substitute here this one, b here, the k will be common, I take that k outside, then the remaining term will be sin alpha cos omega t plus cos alpha sin omega t. Here q0 e power minus bt k by omega, and this can be written as sin of a plus b, is sin of omega t plus alpha, that is sin of omega t plus alpha. That is the q can be written as q0. Here I will substitute back, that is omega is equal to root of k square minus b square. Fine. Then this will be e power minus bt divided by root of k square minus b square, and sine root of k square minus b square into t plus alpha. Okay. Then if I substitute the values of b and k, that is, we know k square is equal to 1 by LC and b square is equal to r square divided by 4l square. Therefore this q can be written as q0 e power minus r by 2l into t divided by root of 1 by LC minus r square divided by 4l square into, here I missed the k here. Here we should have one k. Then this will be k. K is nothing but 1 by root LC into sine root of 1 by LC minus r square divided by 4l square plus, here this root will be here and t is outside, plus alpha. Or in the next step, this q can be written as, what I will do is nothing but this 1 by root LC I write in the denominator, that is this expression. Simply I can write here 1 by root LC will be here. Fine. This is the final form of the expression of the decay of charge in an LCR circuit. Here it is very clear that this is a sinusoidal function, that is, this is a damped oscillatory charge. Okay. That is, this expression represent the decay of charge, that is nothing but an oscillatory because of the sinusoidal term. Therefore I will show you the picture of this damped oscillation. Look at this figure, that is sinusoidal function, that is the charge decreases to 0 and then start to oscillate. This one below and above 0, and again finally reaches to 0. Therefore this can be interpreted as a damped oscillatory charge. That is, the discharge of the capacitor through an inductance is oscillatory. Fine. That is, if b square is less than k square, means this is the case. Discharge is oscillatory nature. Now what is the frequency of this oscillation? That is given by f is equal to omega by 2 pi. This omega is root of k square minus b square divided by 2 pi, or f is equal to 1 by 2 pi. Substitute the value of k square, is 1 by LC minus r square divided by 4l square. If the value of the resistance R is equal to 0, what will happen to this term? This will be frequency f is equal to 1 by 2 pi root of 1 by LC. this time goes to 0. This is the frequency of the oscillation. Let us go back to this time, that is the case 3, p square less than k square. This is a condition of oscillatory discharge. That is b square is less than k square. What is this b square? R square by 4l square less than k square means 1 by lc. Then if I take the square root, it will be r by 2l less than 1 by root of lc. Or we can write this r is less than 2l by root lc, that is r is less than 2, that is we divide this l and root l, and this will be root l by c. And this is very important in the wireless telegraphy that I will explain you very shortly. Is let me write, this is important in wireless telegraphy. Discharge of the capacitor through an inductance is oscillatory if the resistance R of the circuit is this quantity. It is the discharge of a capacitor through an inductance is oscillatory if the resistance R of the circuit is R less than 2 root L by C. That is, during the discharge, the energy stored in the capacitor, that was electric energy, that is given by Q square by 2C, and during this discharge, the charge starts to flow from the capacitor plates, and therefore the Q decreases. As a result, the energy stored in the capacitor decreases, and when this charge starts to flow through the inductor, that it constitute a current flow I, then the energy that is lost by this capacitor now that can be stored in this inductor, that is the energy stored in the inductor is a magnetic energy, is equal to half Li square. If a current I starts to flow through the inductor, then the magnetic energy start to increase. That is, whatever the energy is lost by the capacitor, that will be stored in the inductor. Fine. That is, during the discharge, the energy stored in the capacitor plates decreases, and the decrease in the electric energy can be stored as the magnetic energy in the inductor. When the energy in the inductor increases, a back EMF developed in this inductor that pulled all the charge back to the capacitor. That is, when there is a decrease of charge in the capacitor plate, that is, if it was fully charged, that is, one plate is positive charge, one plate is negatively charged. When this electron from this capacitor plate starts to go, that is, and deposit on the capacitor plate, positive plate, then the charge here decreases. This become positive, and this become, and this become, and this electron reaches on this plate, this is a negative. And when the charge decreases, there will be a time varying electric field set up in this field, in this region. That is, there will be a dou E by dou T time varying electric field. Then according to the Maxwell Ampere law, that is, del cross B is equal to mu 0 into J plus mu 0 into epsilon 0 dou E by dou T. Wherever the time varying electric field exists, that place a magnetic field will be there. time varying magnetic field will be there. Then wherever the time varying magnetic field is present, then that will create a time varying electric field according to the Faraday's law. That is, in between the capacitor plates, that is at these points in this figure, there will be a time varying magnetic field and also a time varying electric field. This time varying magnetic field create a time varying electric field. This time varying electric field create a time varying magnetic field according to these expressions. The electric and magnetic field develop in between this capacitor plate, and these fields changes alternately. As a result, some energy escapes from the circuit permanently in the form of the EM wave, which travels through the space with the speed of light. അപ്പോൾ നമ്മുടെ ഈ കപ്പാസിറ്റർ പ്ലേറ്റിൻ്റെ ഇടയിൽ ചാർജുകൾ ഇങ്ങനെ കൂടുകയും കുറയുകയും ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ അല്ലേ, ഡിസ്ചാർജ് ചെയ്യുന്ന സമയത്ത് ഈ പ്ലേറ്റിലെ ചാർജ് ഇങ്ങനെ കുറഞ്ഞു വരും. ചാർജ് ഇങ്ങനെ കുറഞ്ഞു വരുന്ന സമയത്ത് ഇവിടെ ഡെവലപ്പ് ചെയ്തിട്ടുള്ള ഇലക്ട്രിക് ഫീൽഡിൻ്റെ സ്ട്രെങ്ത്തും കുറയല്ലോ. ഓരോ ചാർജ് പോകുമ്പോൾ അതിൻ്റെ സ്ട്രെങ്ത്ത് ഇങ്ങനെ കുറയും. ഇത് ഫുൾ ചാർജിന് കപ്പാസിറ്റർ ആണെന്ന് വിചാരിക്കുക. ഇവിടെ നെഗറ്റീവ്ലി ചാർജ്ഡ് ഈ പ്ലേറ്റ് പോസിറ്റീവ്ലി ചാർജ്ഡ്. നെഗറ്റീവ് മീൻസ് ഞാൻ മുമ്പ് എക്സ്പ്ലെയിൻ ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്, അഡീഷൻ ഓഫ് 1 ഇലക്ട്രോൺ ആണ് ഈ ആറ്റത്തിന്. ഇതിലോ ഒരു ഇലക്ട്രോണിൻ്റെ ഷോർട്ടാണ്, ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് വൈ പോസിറ്റീവ്ലി ചാർജ്ഡ്. അപ്പോൾ ഇതിൽ നിന്നും ഈ ഒരു ഇലക്ട്രോൺ ഇങ്ങോട്ടേക്ക് പോകുന്ന സമയത്ത് എന്ത് സംഭവിക്കും? ഈ ആറ്റത്തിന് കിട്ടിയ അഡീഷണൽ നെഗറ്റീവ് ഇലക്ട്രോൺ പോയി കഴിഞ്ഞു. അപ്പോൾ ഈ ആറ്റം എന്തായി? ന്യൂട്രലായി, ഇവിടെ ചാർജ് ഇല്ല. ആ ഇലക്ട്രോൺ നമ്മുടെ ഈ സർക്യൂട്ടിൽ പോയി ഇവിടെയാണ് നമ്മുടെ ഇൻഡക്ടറും റെസിസ്റ്റൻസും ഒക്കെ വരുന്നത്. അതിലൂടെ വന്ന് എവിടേക്ക് എത്തിക്കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഈ ആറ്റം പോസിറ്റീവ് നെഗറ്റീവ് വന്ന് ന്യൂട്രലായി. അപ്പോൾ ഇവിടെ ചാർജ് ഇല്ല. ഓക്കെ, അപ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ എന്ത് സംഭവിച്ചു? ഇവിടുത്തെ ചാർജ് കുറഞ്ഞു, പ്ലേറ്റിൽ ചാർജ് കുറഞ്ഞു. അപ്പോൾ ചാർജ് ഇങ്ങനെ കുറയുന്നതിനനുസരിച്ച് ഇവിടെ ഉണ്ടായിരുന്ന ഇലക്ട്രിക് ഫീൽഡ്, നേരത്തെ ചാർജ് ഇരുന്നപ്പോൾ ഇങ്ങനെ ഒരു ഇലക്ട്രിക് ഫീൽഡ് ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു നെഗറ്റീവിൽ നിന്ന് പോസിറ്റീവിലേക്ക്, ആ ഒരു ഇലക്ട്രിക് ഫീൽഡ് ഇല്ലാതെയായി. അതായത് ഇലക്ട്രിക് ഫീൽഡ് ഇവിടെ ഡിക്രീസ് ചെയ്തു. അപ്പോൾ കുറച്ച് സമയം കഴിയുമ്പോൾ അടുത്ത ചാർജ് ഇങ്ങനെ പോകും. അപ്പോൾ ഇവിടെ ഉണ്ടായിരുന്ന നേരത്തെ ഡെവലപ്പ് ചെയ്തിരുന്ന ഇലക്ട്രിക് ഫീൽഡ് ഓരോന്നോരോന്നായിട്ട് ഇല്ലാതെയാവും. ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് ദ ടൈം വേരിങ് ഇലക്ട്രിക് ഫീൽഡ് ഡെവലപ്പ് in between this capacitor plate. If there is a time varying electric field, then according to this expression there will be a time varying magnetic field, that is this expression. The electric and magnetic field can act as a source of each other, and this electric field, a time varying electric and magnetic field develop between the capacitor plate. അപ്പോൾ ഇങ്ങനെ ഉണ്ടാകുന്ന ഈ ഇലക്ട്രിക് ആൻഡ് മാഗ്നറ്റിക് ഫീൽഡ് ഒരു ആൾട്ടർനേറ്റിംഗ് ഫീൽഡ് ആയതുകൊണ്ട് അല്ലേ, നമ്മുടെ ഈ ചാർജ് ഇങ്ങനെ വന്നിട്ട് നമ്മുടെ ഇൻഡക്ടറിലൂടെ ഇങ്ങനെ ഫ്ലോ ചെയ്യുന്ന സമയത്ത് ഇൻഡക്ടറിൽ ബാക്ക് EMF ഉണ്ടായി തിരിച്ച് ഈ ഇവിടേക്ക് എത്തുന്ന എല്ലാ നെഗറ്റീവ് ചാർജിനെയും തിരിച്ച് ബാക്ക് EMF പിടിച്ച് ഇങ്ങോട്ട് തന്നെ കൊണ്ടുവരും. അങ്ങനെ ഒരു ചാർജ് ഓസിലേഷൻ ഇവിടെ ഉണ്ടാവും. നേരത്തെ അങ്ങോട്ട് പോയി ഈ പ്ലേറ്റിൽ നിന്നും പോയി ഇവിടെ എത്തിയ ചാർജിനെ ബാക്ക് EMF തിരിച്ച് പിടിച്ചിട്ട് ഇങ്ങോട്ട് തന്നെ കൊണ്ടുവരും. Therefore, there will be a charge oscillation in the circuit. That is, whatever the electric energy stored in the capacitor is lost, that will be stored in the inductor because of the charge flow. A current will be set up in the inductor. Therefore, that will create a magnetic energy. That is, if the electric energy is stored by certain amount, for example 10 joule, this is the energy lost in the capacitor, then the 10 joule of magnetic energy will be stored in the inductor. Okay, that is, the energy will be shuttled between the capacitor and the inductor. അല്ലേ, നമ്മൾ ഷട്ടിൽ കളിക്കുമ്പോൾ അങ്ങനെയല്ലേ, നമ്മുടെ കോർക്ക് ഒരു കോട്ടിൽ നിന്ന് മറ്റൊരു കോട്ടിലേക്ക് പോകും, അവിടെ നിന്ന് ഇങ്ങോട്ടേക്കും വരും. അതേപോലെ എനർജി ഇവിടെ ഷട്ടിൽ ചെയ്ത് കളിക്കും കപ്പാസിറ്ററും ഇൻഡക്ടറും തമ്മിൽ, because of the oscillation of the charge. Fine. That is, if the field changes alternately between the capacitor plates, some energy escape from the circuit permanently in the form of the electromagnetic waves, which travels through the space with the speed of light. അങ്ങനെ നമ്മുടെ ഈ കപ്പാസിറ്റർ പ്ലേറ്റിനടുത്ത് ആൾട്ടർനേറ്റ് ടൈം വേരിയിങ് ഇലക്ട്രിക് ആൻഡ് മാഗ്നറ്റിക് ഫീൽഡ് ഡെവലപ്പ് ചെയ്യും. ഈ ടൈം വേരി ഇലക്ട്രിക് ആൻഡ് മാഗ്നറ്റിക് ഫീൽഡ് escape from this between the capacitor plates as a EM wave. EM wave എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ is a wave consisting of electric and magnetic field. ഇങ്ങനെയാണ് ഇലക്ട്രിക് മാഗ്നറ്റിക് വേവ്സിന്റെ ജനറേഷൻ. Fine. Therefore, this is very important in wireless telegraphy. Okay. For the convenience, I will note out during the discharge, the energy stored in the capacitor plates decreases, and the decrease in electric energy can be stored as magnetic energy in the inductor. When the energy in the inductor increases, a back EMF develops in the inductor that pull all the charges back to the capacitor. Therefore, an oscillating electric and magnetic fields develop between the capacitor plates. If the fields change alternately, some energy escapes from the circuit permanently in the form of electromagnetic waves. That electromagnetic waves travels through the space with the speed of light. Okay, I hope this is clear to you. Thank you very much.